I'd like first to ask Dave Prentis to come and address you. Dave, as you know, is the General Secretary of UNISON, and UNISON have been a real friend of Compass. They've supported us and they've backed us. Without the support of organisations like UNISON, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I'm incredibly grateful to Dave and his colleagues and the union. Dave, please come and say a few words. Thank you.
Well, hello everybody. I'm not sure if General Secretaries are meant to get excited, but I really am excited to be welcoming you all here today, speaking with Neil, with Francis, with Ken. A special event in a very, very special hall to the trade union movement. And it's a unique gathering of activists and organisations who believe in a better world and are working to actually bring it about. An opportunity today to share ideas, to debate priorities, form new alliances. And the one thing we all know is that our vision of our future must be more sustainable, more democratic and more equal. On behalf of UNISON's 1.4 million public service members, let me say that we are proud to play our part in that coalition. Public services, public servants, our members, working to bring about social progress, helping individuals develop their potential, building the strong communities within which we can all flourish. The carers, the nurses, the teachers, dedicated to giving everybody the best chance of fulfilling life. The support staff, keeping our schools and hospitals running. The council employees, maintaining our common places, developing our neighbourhoods, working with the most disadvantaged groups in our society. Many of them, our members, among the most worst paid and most undervalued employees in our economy. But as well as campaigning for a better deal for our members, UNISON stands up for the values of public service, values we believe should underpin our vision of a fair society, values of compassion, values of commitment, equal treatment, social justice, democratic accountability, and a sense of a shared purpose. Values that take us beyond the cold calculations and narrow self-interest of the market, an ugly concept which belittles the work of our members, the work that they do, and which belittles those in the Labour Party and the Labour government who still cling to it. It's a concept which UNISON will oppose. Instead, UNISON campaigns for investment to repair and modernise our public services. We campaign for a living wage and a redistribution of income to the poorest families. We campaign against all forms of discrimination in all walks of life. And with the Labour government, yes, we have taken important steps forward on all of these fronts, but we've got lots more to do. Today we face a squeeze on pay in our public services, and we are fighting a hard battle to secure equal pay for women. We are fighting for better social care. We are fighting for more affordable housing. We are fighting for social housing. Why is it so wrong for councils to want to build their own houses? Why is the fourth option so wrong? And yes, we are demanding alternatives to marketisation of our public services, alternatives that truly empower staff and users alike. But our work is not restricted to the workplace or those sectors where our members are employed. Our values, the values of trade unionism and the values of public service must go further than that. We must be at the heart of our communities, linking up with community organisations like London Citizens and their Strangers into Citizens campaign to end the exploitation of migrant workers, working with Searchlight and Unite Against Fascism to push the BNP out of our working class communities and back in the gutter where they belong. UNISON, the first trade union to join Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth in the Stop Climate Chaos Coalition. And of course, these efforts cannot stop at our national borders. Our society, our economy is global, and so must our response. Our public services have been reshaped by international labour migration, powerful multinational companies taking over, powerful institutions like the European Union or the World Trade Organization bringing in markets and competition. So UNISON is forging alliances with sister unions throughout the world, working through international federations, showing solidarity with our sisters and brothers, speaking out when sister trade unionists are under threat in Colombia, in Burma, in Zimbabwe, establishing our own international development fund to support the growth of trade unions in the developing world so that workers in poor countries can fight on their own terms for a different type of globalisation. A globalisation based not upon exploitation of cheap labour and weak governments, but upon a real sharing of prosperity in a global society. And I really am proud that union members have consistently stood shoulder to shoulder with international campaigns from Make Poverty History and the trade justice movement to the ongoing struggles for the right of all peoples in the Middle East to determine their own future, the right of the people of Palestine to determine their own future and to live in peace. And we are delighted today to have with us as our special guest to this conference Antonio Miranda, who will tell us how he took on the World Bank's campaign to privatise Brazilian water services. And I'm also proud to be sharing this platform with Ken Livingstone, always a diplomat. I see Ken this morning in The Guardian that you've actually called the American ambassador to London a venal little crook. Sentiments we can all share with you. I don't know if it's better than what you called him 15 months ago. I think you called him then a chiselling little crook. So I don't know if any progress has been made. But Ken, a Labour politician who truly shares our values, delivering real improvements for the people of London. London today, the place where I live, where we have our head office, a city of which its citizens can feel proud. Leading the way in taking the tough decisions needed to meet the challenge of climate change, a city that's taken up our call for a living wage, setting a standard by ensuring that all GLA employees and all employed under GLA contracts are paid properly. A city that has welcomed and celebrated the diversity globalisation has brought. Conference, trade unions are at their best when they connect with the best within our communities, when we build broad social and political alliances, when we are bold enough to take the case forward for radical change. And I actually believe that all of the groups and campaigns represented here today, all of you who have come here to take part, can show that another world is possible. Local initiatives from up and down the country, charities and voluntary groups working with the excluded and the disadvantaged. Millions of public servants dedicated to serving a greater good. International campaigns for global justice and environmental responsibility. A trade union movement that stands up for a fair deal for everyone. Conference, a new political landscape is taking shape as we meet. And with change must come the end to the denigration and demoralisation of public service workers. Creating insecurity, breaking up collective bargaining arrangements, undermining the workforce we rely on to bring about improvement is a recipe for taking us and the Labour movement back into the political wilderness. And yes, as the political landscape changes, we are looking for a fresh start for public service reform. Real improvement for our communities, a shared vision, investing in our future instead of selling it off on the altar of markets and profit. Conference, we are at a critical moment. There is a window of opportunity now to set a new course for our country, one that builds on the gains of the past 10 years, but shifts our politics onto a new path. An opportunity to take our values, our vision forward, to build a more just, more inclusive more sustainable world, shaping our own world. Gordon says he is listening. It's our job to make sure that he is. And I actually believe that if we don't do it, nobody else will. So have a great day, have a great conference. But remember, this conference isn't the start of a process, it's the start of an alliance to take our agenda and our values forward. Thank you.